Homer led the league in tackles with 85. The deep ball for Darius Prince, and Philadelphia's on the board first.
On the draw, this is Bryson Allen. And Allen weaving his way all the way down to the 22. 10-yard line, 5. Mayfield, Dancy, all around. Throwing as far as he can throw it. Jump ball coming. Crazy stuff. Not this time.
And you want to be a wide receiver, you're going to have to take a little bit of a hit like that as Brown got him in that shoulder, but watch. Those are teeth.
Do we have a dentist on staff here?
Yeah, man. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. You know what it is, Wednesday night. So that means that we must be covering the Entertainment Football League. And I think we are. So I'm your host, Cedric. I got the co-host TJ over there, and we got a special guest with us tonight. We got Coach Filardi from the New York Dragons from the Entertainment Football League. So we had the GM on a couple weeks back, and now we got the head coach. We're getting closer to the start of the season. So welcome on, TJ. Welcome on. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming on, Coach.
Yes.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Coach. So yeah, you guys know how we do. We'll jump right into it. We got some questions for Coach. First, I guess, Coach, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself a bit, and tell us a bit about you.
Sure. Gerald Filardi, obviously head coach of the New York Dragons, the new New York Dragons. I come from Long Island, New York, born and raised. Went to high school on Long Island at Walt Whitman High School. Played at Penn State. Went to the Pittsburgh Steelers as a free agent. Bounced around a little bit. Had a really short stint with the Albany Firebirds. Wound up winning the championship the year I wasn't with them because I didn't make the final roster, but I was grateful for the opportunity. Coach Mike Daly back then. So it's kind of my football background. I'm a high school coach, do a lot of stuff on youth, a lot of raising the level of football along Long Island and New York. Feel we got a really good bunch of talent out here that we obviously try and give a platform and an opportunity for them to showcase themselves.
Yes, there we go. Well, thank you for coming on again. I'm glad to have you here, and it's going to be fun tonight, guys. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. I mean, TJ, I'll let you kick it off, man.
Oh, sure. When I first found out that the New York Dragons were coming back, obviously in a new league, different play style, but initially reading some of the reports and stuff, it was sometimes it goes either way with teams coming back with the same name, kind of embracing their past, or some just kind of push it back. But it seems like you guys are embracing the fact that you're not the first New York Dragons, and you're carrying that legacy with you. What kind of thought went into that decision?
Yeah, I think it's something that the management had and the fan base basically wanted. There was a vote to throw out some names out there, and it seemed overwhelming that it was the Dragons. So it was a good era for New York and arena football in New York and Long Island and playing here. So I think coming back as the Dragons, I think we got good support. So I think that's what the choice was overall.
Nice, yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, that's what they say, right? So I think, I think it's got some good history, and I think it's something that we want to uphold as well. So even though we're the new Dragons, but there is some following there that I think we want to embrace.
I'm not gonna lie, I still have a an Aaron Garcia Dragons jersey in my closet. So
Yeah, yeah, there's some really good history there.
There we go. And I mean, I guess keeping in a sense of that, going into this, I guess, what feels like maybe not an inaugural season, but it is for the Entertainment Football League. How have you approached building your roster? Were you looking for more so veterans? Or are you trying to look for younger players?
I think it's going to be going into it. We're probably looking to a blend of both. I'm seeing where I can find some experience. I know there's guys that are from Long Island and from New York that have got to start out and playing in some different leagues, so they're excited to come back home and play at home and represent their hometowns and their communities. So that's exciting. And then the guys that are, on the cusp of just, finished college, maybe didn't catch on last year, or maybe not ready set this year. And it gives them a platform and opportunity to continue playing and then see if they can excel and advance their career, possibly at another level, playing in the the UFL or Canadian League or possibly even the NFL. So I think it's probably going to be a mix of both. I think we should go with some experience on the team, some older guys, some leadership, and then some young guys as well.
Nice.
Yeah, when you first got the call for the opportunity to be the head coach of the New York Dragons in this, new style, new arena league, what caught your eye the most about it? Just being so different, but also intriguing at the same time.
Yeah, it kind of evolved. I never really, had thought about it, and then it became real. I went to the first press conference that Peter was at, and I knew of Peter. Peter knew of me, but we really didn't know of each other, and then got to learn a little bit more after that. I was kind of just going at as a football guy. I was excited about hearing there's another level of football coming to New York and playing at the Nassau Coliseum. Great for the fans, great for players, great for opportunities. So just as a football guy, was excited about that. And then one thing leading to another, that saying this could be realistic, that throwing my hat in there as the head coach, with my background, I said I wanted to give it the opportunity, and now I'm honored to have the opportunity and be the head coach of the Dragons.
Nice. Heck yeah, man. That is freaking amazing when it all comes together like that. And for those of you just tuning in, you are watching us. We're sitting down and talking with the head coach of the New York Dragons, head coach Filardi, here on Shady Sports Network. We're going to go ahead and take a promo break really quick. So we'll switch off. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Please share and subscribe. We'll be right back.
I'm just being myself, cool as can be. When I'm being myself, you wish you were me. It's so easy. Get out your own way. It's just so easy.
There we go. Use that upside code, guys. It'll save you some money when you're at the pumps. Yeah, but jumping right back into it, Coach. What should fans expect to see from the Dragons on both sides of the ball this season?
Yeah, I think we're going to be exciting on offense. We're going to be disciplined and aggressive on defense. The game's going to be geared towards offense, and we know that as a defensive guy, a little bit frustrating. So I'm going to try and figure out ways to stop guys, and when we can stop guys. But just the format of the game, obviously, is just geared towards that way. But that's okay. We'll take our stops when we can get them, but we're going to be we'll be electrifying on offense as well.
In terms of off the field, I don't want to wreck any surprises, so if you can't answer, that's fine. But do you guys have any kind of like community building events planned throughout the season to kind of bring the football team out into the public more?
Absolutely. Our GM in our back office is doing that. We talked to some players about that, and that's important to us. So we would definitely be out in the community. I don't have specific events that I can share at this point, but it is in the plan to do that. I'm a big believer in that. One, in helping out where we can and offering our services, and whether it be in volunteering or helping a foundation or just being a part of the community and obviously the younger generation. I'm involved in youth sports, so that's a big part. So I think having our players and getting in front of those youth players and giving them a platform to see what we do and how we do it and aspire to play the game of football, whichever level it may be, and whatever they aspire to do. So 100% we'll be out and about.
Nice.
Awesome.
Heck yeah. Gotta get in that community. Looks like we got a question in from Sam. What up, Sam? When and how can players attend tryouts?
Yeah, tryouts. We actually had a tryout yesterday evening. Went very, very well. A lot of good talent out there. And then the next tryout is April 19th. So it'll be a Saturday morning. The links are on our sites, and you'd have to register online with all your information.
Okay.
So that's April 19th, Saturday morning. And it's in a location in Farmingdale, New York.
Farmingdale?
Farmingdale, yep.
Cool.
Yeah, all the links and stuff is up on our social and website.
Nice. Yeah, so speaking of that, well, I guess not speaking of that, but what would you say has been your biggest challenge stepping into this new league? And how are you navigating around it?
I guess the biggest challenges are kind of just, it's new. So it's a new league. So there'll be challenges. But it's something that I'm used to. I've had in business and in coaching, I kind of just be able to navigate that stuff. So I'm always up for challenges and figuring things out and problem solving and getting things to come across. That life is about adversity, right? So you got to stay positive, and that's what we'll continue to do. As long as the staff stays focused, the players stay focused, and we have a job to do, and we stay focused on that, and that's it. So nothing really specific as of yet that I can point out, but just it being new, there's it just comes with challenges. Just making sure, where we're going to hang our hat for our practice facility. The schedule is out, which is good. So transportation and just all the little details. But I know they all come together. We're confident in the league. We're confident in our organization, as well as the other teams we'll be competing against.
Now, back in your playing days, specifically college, you were a walk-on at Penn State, and you ended up earning a scholarship through your, just play, your football IQ, dedication. How was that, mentality transferred into your coaching style?
Yeah, I'm a little bit of an underdog story, which I don't mind. Unfortunately, that's my story. I'm proud of it. I was recruited out of high school. I wasn't highly recruited, but Penn State came in the picture because I used to attend camp. And back then, camps were 4 days long. They were 3 days. You dormed and you stayed overnight. So it was a little bit different than the 3.5 hour camps that happen now. But I learned a lot from that, and obviously, learning about Penn State, being on campus, and learning the coaching staff. So Penn State was high on my list of schools that I wanted to go to. I wound up taking a visit to Indiana, and got offered a scholarship at Indiana, and I was grateful for it. But I didn't say yes at that point. So, you always kind of want to keep the ball in your court is what I've learned. So I went back home, but in the back of my mind, I was waiting to hear about Penn State and see if they were going to offer. So when I didn't, I went back to Indiana and I said, I'd like to come to Indiana, coach. And they said, that's great, but we don't have a scholarship for you anymore. So, it was a little upsetting. I was confused a little bit. My father is old school Italian. He was really pissed off. But I got a call. The first call I made was to the guy who recruited me, Joe Sarah from Penn State, and told him what happened. And he actually reached out to a guy, coach at NC State. NC State came up to watch my film. Said they really liked me, but they had a player that they had a scholarship out to. I think it was Michigan. So they come back, long story short, the guy from Michigan takes the scholarship. So it just made me think that I was never, even though I didn't accept that scholarship for Indiana, I never knew it was in jeopardy. So it would have been nice that if they had called and said, we need to know either way, we have a scholarship out and we'd like to bring to another kid. So kind of just left a bad taste in my mouth. Even though Indiana is a great school, all good things, just I don't feel Indiana anymore. So the recruiter from Penn State, Joe Sarah, came out and met with my family, met with my coach, and talked to me about a walk-on, a preferred walk-on with the opportunity to earn a scholarship. So that's what I wanted to do. Talked it over with my parents, middle-class family, not a ton of money, but they were able to put stuff together to pay for my semester or my first year there. And I wasn't planning on staying in if I didn't earn a scholarship. I just couldn't. But I did want to know if I could play at that level. So we went first year redshirted, and then spring of that year of 93, sorry. I earned a scholarship, but I was in Joe's office every day and speaking to the coaches and seeing how I'm doing, and kind of a little bit of a chip on my shoulder when I went in. There was guys that had scholarships and I didn't. So, and I knew once I got there, I was good enough to play. So, kind of rest is history. Back then, you kind of waited your turn. There's an extreme amount of talent on the Penn State teams that we had when I was there from 92 to 96. But my only interception and touchdown was at Indiana for an interception for a touchdown. So kind of was a great moment because we were actually down at halftime. Offense really wasn't getting it going, but we came out and played defense and wound up picking off a ball, running it back for a touchdown, got the game ball. So it was exciting. But I could have easily been in the locker room on the other side. So it was meant to be.
That's awesome. That's the best piece of revenge right there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I lost you there. I can't hear you.
You're on mute.
Oh, yeah. There we go. I was so stuck in your story, man. I had to mute myself and listen to you the whole time. But no, that was a great story. And yeah, like TJ said, what a great way to get revenge. Just want to say, like Sam said, happy birthday to your director of business development.
Nice.
Is that Maryland Rich? Is that how you say it?
Yep. Maryland Rich.
So yeah. Happy birthday, Maryland.
Happy birthday, Maryland.
Birthday from ShadySports. Yeah. So hey, with that, let's take another promo really quick. And then we'll get back to it. So all you new people that tune in, we're here with Coach Filardi from the New York Dragons of the Entertainment Football League. So go ahead and get your questions in the chat, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and please share. And we will be right back.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
There we go. And with you guys being the Entertainment Football League, Coach, are there anything or is there anything that you guys maybe have in the works or have planned for the fans to get them involved during games?
Yeah, there's going to be some youth events going on before the games.
Yeah.
So I know they're going to work on some tailgating things. Obviously, interaction with the players and the coaches after the games. So we're excited about that. We definitely are looking forward to interacting with the fans and having that relationship, making them feel a part of our team. They're the ones that support us. They're the ones that fill the seats, and obviously we want to put on a show for them and go out and play our best and represent them well. So maybe I'll give a couple of play calls to a couple of fans.
There we go.
In terms of not just the team, but really the league as a whole, from what you've seen behind the scenes so far with it starting out and getting, the rules and everything, do you see this becoming the next big thing that's really going to start to just grow and continue over the next, 2, 3, 5 years?
Yeah, I think so. I think, it's football, but it's a different style of football. So there is a level of skill to play the game. I think keeping a little bit of the lineman play, getting rid of the kicking is probably one of the bigger changes. So going for it on fourth down, and kind of that's going to change in a little bit of a fast pace a play. So for that skill guy, but I like to still have that lineman play to keep a little bit of balance where there is some sort of a run game as well when needed. But you got to kind of pick and choose when that's going to be, because you don't want to set yourself back knowing that you can't necessarily change the field position. So that could be some of the challenges. But I think we're in a great market. I think the league is doing a good job of setting it up. We're starting with the 4 teams and then eventually expanding to other markets, hopefully within our reach, and then growing from there. So I feel real confident with the back end and with the office. Doug Freeman and Andre Reed, our commissioner, our owner, and our commissioner. I think they're doing a good job of setting it up and setting it up for success. So I look forward to it.
Yes, nice. Speaking of your back office and your team, Sam had a great question. How much of your staff has been assembled to this point?
We're doing pretty good. We got most of ours in place. We announced one of our other coaches, but I will be having other coaches join the staff. Just working that out, some logistics and commitments to make sure. That's probably one of the challenges is the time frame that once we got rolling and I got named. I was named, as basically less than a month ago, but we're getting moving pretty quick. So some things to still get in place on the coaching staff. The back end office is pretty good. We have some interns that are going to be joining as well. So some opportunities there to work at the professional level. Some great people and being able to give them some opportunities. So it's coming together.
Nice. Oh, go with this one, I guess. TJ, I'll cut you off, but I guess Paulie came in. He said he saw Mike Vannucci joining the staff, or is he just helping with tryouts?
Yeah, Mike Vannucci is a good one. We're talking. I think Mike wants to be involved, but he's definitely helping out with the tryouts. He's a great coach. He's a great person. He's just starting out with a family. So those are some of the things and some of the challenges that they're talking about. But I got great people that I've had along my way in my journey, and some great guys and great guys that support myself as well as football and Long Island football. So you know, there's really good guys out there that are willing to help in all different ways. So not necessarily may not be on the staff as a full timer, but want to be a part because they want to see this succeed. They want to see the opportunity for the players that they've coached and the guys that they've seen go off to college and now are coming back and still have opportunities to play the game. So yeah, Mike Minucci is a good one.
Earlier, we kind of touched on players and mix of local and out of town. Is there a specific age range you prefer in a player for this league, or is it really just if they're great and you can get them, you're grabbing them?
Yeah, I mean, if they're talented enough, they pass the physical and they're good to go. Age really isn't necessarily the factor. It just depends on the experience. It depends on where they're at. I'm not going to hold anybody because of their age. So I kind of see the roster building, probably from that early 20s to that, mid 20s to early 30s, maybe a little bit older. Just depends on position and what the need is. Peter and myself, have a vision of building this roster with, Long Island and New York players, at least those roots that have come back. So I think we'll have enough talent to do that. It's not to say that we won't have some guys that will be out of state, or they may be out of state but still have Long Island or New York roots as well. So it'll be a combination.
Nice. Looks like let's see. So yeah, we got Paulie coming in with another one. Back to coaching, we could say. So any talks with James Brady, I'd assume with either the Joe or Gerald Jr. connection has probably been brought up. Obviously another amazing coach.
Yeah, he's another great one. I've known James since he started, his venture and becoming an outstanding quarterback coach, and one the best probably on Long Island. Has a great following, and has groomed a bunch of successful quarterbacks. He does a great job. Another one that if I can entice to come on, but at their times in their lives and the time frame of this, that's some of the challenge of getting some of these guys. They're starting out with young families. I'm fortunate. I've been with my wife since I'm 12 years old, so we have 3 boys that are out of the house. So my youngest just started college. My oldest is one that will be trying out on the 19th. He's finished with college and we're in the work world. And my middle guy is a senior and graduating this May. So, like James Brady, we've had the conversation, and these guys, they know they're more than welcome, and they're a phone call away, and they'll help me in any way possible. I just don't know if it's the right timing for them in their lives at this point to do it.
Okay. Man, it sounds like Paulie's tuned in. Hey guys, you get on it. You see Paulie and Sam coming with the questions. Hey, let's take one more promo really quick as we roll through it. I just really wanted to get a Shady Sports promo out there, and then I got a couple more questions. I know TJ has a staple question, so probably a few more, and we won't hold you too much longer there, Coach.
You got it.
We'll be right back, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. You're watching Shady Sports Network. We got Coach Filardi from the New York Dragons of the Entertainment Football League. So stick with us. Get those questions in the chat. We'll be right back. Yes. Yeah, so I know it's still early. You said you had the one tryout. You have a couple other trials coming up. But are there any breakout players or leaders that you feel like you've identified already or that you already had your eye on going into the season?
Yeah, once it came to fruition, I have, it just within my network, some players that have played for me, and played, either in high school or played when they were a youth that are from Long Island that I know and played college ball. So those were some guys I identified. I missed out on some because they already made commitments, to either Canadian League or another arena league or overseas. So just because of the timing of the league, I reached out to those guys and they already had those commitments. But who knows? You never know in the future. They'll circle back and want to come back and play at home.
There we go.
Well, as Cedric knows, this is my staple question. I try to ask it every time. What initially growing up got you into football and wanting to pursue a career in it?
Phil Simms and Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, those were my guys. I grew up a Giants fan. I actually, played youth football. I started when I was, I think I was 6, and didn't like to practice, but I loved the games. But as I got older, I realized how important practice is. And then it was just a switch in my head that, watching the Giants, watching Lawrence Taylor and Phil Simms, and how they played the game. I was actually a quarterback and a linebacker. You believe it or not, I played quarterback in high school and I played linebacker in high school. There was a point, probably my sophomore and junior year, I knew I wasn't going to be a college quarterback. I tried, but it just wasn't my instincts. I had better instincts for the defensive side of the ball, and just had a knack. And then learning the game after that, I learned the game when I got to college, and nothing against my high school coach, because my high school coach was everything else, but not necessarily that X's and O's guy. He was a good X's and O's guy, but didn't know it. But as far as everything else, as being a mentor and a guide and a supporter, and doing all he could for his players and myself and getting me opportunities, he was great. But I really learned the game at Penn State, and I realized in high school, if I hadn't learned just some key reads pre-snap and post-snap and things like that, how much better I would have been in high school. I was basically going off of just my instincts. My dad taught me, he coached me when I was young, and he said, just tackle the guy with the ball. So I just found the guy with the ball, and that was it. That's what I went off of. But I didn't really learn how to read guards and pre-snap, triangle of, basically what formation, what to expect, whether it was going to be run or pass. I really didn't have that in high school. I just found the football. So coaching and the coaching staff at Penn State, just learning from them. I never really thought I would get into coaching. It wasn't my path. Like I said, I've known my wife since I was 12, and it was kind of, I was making on, going back home after I was done playing, starting a family, getting into the business world. And then my boys, my oldest son, when he turned 5, he was interested in playing. And then I just started coaching youth, and then it kind of just developed as a coach. I know, a lot of my old teammates and friends and old coaches, they've coached, and I've watched them, and, you're constantly learning as a coach. So, I'm going from high school, and, I played at the professional level. But, coaching is teaching, coaching is serving, and you learn how to do that. So, it's something that I constantly work on, to improve. I didn't come and get an education degree. Most coaches go through education or have an education, and some say it's hard challenge for guys that played to actually teach it. So I've worked out that balance, that I was able to, play the game, but also teach what I can do. Some guys just do it, and they can't necessarily teach it. And I think my business skills have helped that. I took business management, and I've been in the business world, and have dealt with people and managed people. So that aspect has helped me in the coaching arena.
Nice. That is amazing. Yeah, and I think It is like I can kind of see that because there are a lot of players, they don't kind of make that transition right away. It's hard to kind of explain or I guess get out of your head and
Yeah, it's like they're just like
people.
I don't know. I could just do it. Like I just do it.
Yeah.
And I get it because there were certain things that I was just like trying to teach it. And I'm like I could do it. I don't know how. I just do it. And then I was able to kind of peel back the onion and say, okay, I got to show this step by step. How do I get them to do what I know how to do? And what's that process? And it involves, not just the physical part. It also involves the mental part. And as a player, that helped me. I wasn't the biggest, the strongest, and the fastest. So I worked on my weaknesses. So, when you got 300-pound guys coming at you, you got to make decisions fast. And as you grow in the game becomes 80% mental and 20% physical, because you're going to be big, strong, and fast, and everybody else is big, strong, and fast at that level. Mm-hmm. So everybody's maxed out. So now what does it come down to? It comes down to where you start and where you finish, and what decisions you make in that process, and how quickly you can make them to be in the right spot. And guys that are talented can do it a little quicker, and they can still rely on their talent. I was talented, but I can't say I was the most talented guy on the field. So I had to use what I knew on the mental side to get that extra step when I needed it. So I can get away from a lineman, I can make a tackle, or I can make the right read and put us in the right spot and help the defense make adjustments so guys can make plays. Mm-hmm. It's the ultimate team sport. Like there's nothing like it. It relates to so many things, and that's what has always attracted me to the game of football. And not knocking other sports. I'm a big fan of other sports, but there's nothing like football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Especially the way it's schemed up and stuff. When you scheme it up right and get it going.
Yeah, I mean, at the highest level, that's it. You look at it, it comes down to matchups. Mm-hmm. It's where you matchups, you got to win your one-on-ones, right? Mm-hmm. And it comes down to that and executing and having 11 guys on the same page in sync when that ball snaps.
Yep. So with that being said, what does success look for you in this first season? Is it going to be wins? Is it the culture, development, or maybe is it something else?
It's a combination. But we're playing to win. This is a professional level. The fans want to see that. And playing in New York, it's not an easy place. So that's a challenge there. But there will be other successes that we will judge the season off of. But ultimately, it's going to be that win column. But yes, we want to install the culture. We want to build a good foundation. And that's part of building the roster. I have that in mind because it's not just year one. It's year two. Mm-hmm. Because you never know who's going to be here. I may start with an older guy, and I got to develop a younger guy. I don't know how much time he has. He may have 1 year in him, and maybe he's going to be there for 1 year and help us get to that next step. But then there's going to be that next guy that's going to come waiting in the wings. So I have a little bit of that strategy in mind, but also, we're professionals. The players need to be treated as professionals, and they need to act like professionals. So culture is a big piece.
Yes, sir. Speaking into that, I mean, let's fast forward to the end of this first season. What do you want people saying about the New York Dragons?
I want them to say that they're it's a good team that goes out and plays their best and gives their best effort each time they touch the field. And we're in there, we're exciting, and they're looking for us for the next game and the next season.
Nice, man. This is a good one, Coach. I think you took us for a ride, man. It was a really, really fun ride, a really good trip. I think. I know I just learned so much about you, quite honestly. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to come on with us.
I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for letting us hear all the stories.
Yeah, man, that was amazing.
I could offer them. It's about people. It's about relationships. So that's what it is. It's just I may be the head coach, but there's staff and there's players, and it doesn't happen alone. You need the team, and that's what it's about.
There we go. There we go. Actually, before I let you go, I know the GMs they are talking about a little wager between you guys and the Ciphers. You know, is there and there's only 4 teams, so it's not really like there could be a whole lot of rivalry. But are there any games that you are maybe looking forward to, or that
everyone?
There we go. Right.
I'm June 7th up in Connecticut. That's the one I got my eye on right now.
Okay, that's the first one.
One game at a time.
Yep. There you go. 1-0. 1-0.
That's it. That's the mentality.
Well, shoot, Coach. Anything you got for us before you get out of here? You want to let us know where they can find you at on social medias?
Yeah, I'm on X. I'm on Instagram. So just my name. Yeah. Gerald. I had my numbers on it too. I think it's Gerald Filardi 47. So
there we go.
That's it.
Heck yeah. Well, yeah, man. Again, thank you for the time, TJ. You got anything else before we let Coach go?
No, just thanks again for coming on with us and sharing all the stories and the team info. I had a really great time.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I appreciate the time and appreciate what you guys do. And go Dragons.
Go Dragons.
Go Dragons.
Have a good one, Coach. Thanks for taking the time again. And can't wait till June 7th. We'll have you on after the game and before the game probably too as well. So, shout out to everyone watching. Shout out Paulie. Thank you for joining us and chiming in. All you guys that hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. All you other guys, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and tune back in every Wednesday. We'll be bringing you another coach, player, or back office member from the Entertainment Football League. So we're excited to watch you guys grow, Coach, and I'm excited to follow your league for sure and your team with the Dragons. So if anything else, TJ, you got anything before we get out of here?
No, just go Dragons.
Right? Heck yeah, go Dragons. So
fire breathing football.
Hey, I'm with it. So let's go. If not anything else, you guys have a wonderful night. Tune in Shady Sports Network. You'll find the rest of these interviews. Have a good one.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.